Hello, lovelies. Welcome to All in Harmony. I'm Juliana Lindner, your self-empowerment coach, intuitive mentor, and EFT tapping practitioner. And I think it's time to talk about what coaching is, because if you aren't familiar with coaching, this will give you maybe answer some questions. And if you are familiar with coaching, this may offer you some insight into taking the next step. So coaching is really the highest level of personal development. If you were to think about this scale or the spectrum where self-help books, online tutorials, or just blogs are really like the baseline introduction to helping yourself. And in the middle, there's workshops, webinars, even group coaching sometimes can feel like, or courses, not really group coaching, but courses where you're self-paced through these courses. You're getting assistance, you're getting something that is unique to that individual. You are finding this coach to be compatible with you. The way they talk, the way they are, the methodology speaks to you, so you're drawn to them for some reason. Now, the highest level on the spectrum for self-development would be one-on-one personal coaching. This is what I call the intensive personal coaching that I lead with my one-on-one clients. And there's a difference between therapy and counseling and coaching. And coaching really emphasizes taking the action towards your future, where therapy and counseling is really mainly interested in diving into your past, your thought patterns around the past, your perspective around the past, and potentially healing that past. Not to say that all therapists will leave out this room for next steps or action taking, but a coach is really interested in taking you to that next level and moving you forward rather than ruminating on the thoughts and behaviors of what is keeping you in that position. Now, the interesting part about my methodology and what I bring to the table that I feel is very different than most coaches is that I do both. I work at the subconscious level. So your subconscious mind is your stored memories, your stories, right? Everything that has happened to you in the past, anything that maybe is or is not remembered from your childhood all the way up till yesterday is stored in your subconscious memory. So the EFT tapping that I use and the protocol that I use to really uncover parts of ourselves, parts of our story that need attention, that deserve attention and deserve really compassion for what we went through and why we are the way we are, allows us to really work through those possibly traumas or just events that we really couldn't understand in the moment or in that time space. Now we're in a new time and we're able to develop a new perspective. So working with the past allows us to really unshield our direction and path towards our future, really what we're looking for. Because if you've seen my earlier video on the 3 core truths, I explained that I was in a position where I never even allowed myself to dream of what was coming in my future. So there was so much, I was withered with self-doubt and defeat and embarrassment and all these things, all this lack mentality that I did not even allow myself to dream or think about the future. So if that is something that you struggle with, know that this is something to really work on first before you just kind of throw the spaghetti at the wall and hoping that it will stick. Sometimes action will create the momentum to bring you further into your path and your direction and your goals and your dreams. And sometimes those things that are kept in your subconscious mind that are keeping you stuck will show up and derail you. And you'll lose focus, you'll lose momentum, you'll sit and sulk in misery and defeat, and you really won't understand why you just can't push forward. Okay, so what I do is I help explore your psychology at a deeper level. And what I say often is EFT tapping is really a deep dive into your inner world, something that you aren't maybe willing or ready to access on your own, but having someone like myself to stand in and really support you in this container of feeling safe to reveal it, to open up about it. And when you give yourself that permission to feel safe, whether you are on your own or with somebody, then you're allowed to release those stories, release those binds, release those constraints, release those negative limiting beliefs, and step into a new zone and step into your power zone is what I usually say. And another part of coaching that I think is really helpful and really accelerates your progress, because quite frankly, I would love to have you for a year or more, but honestly, that means that you weren't really ready for coaching, possibly, or there's a lot of development that's needed. But I use fast tracks, and the fast tracks look like 3 or 6 months of really, again, intensive development of self. That comes down to your commitment level. Coaching is an investment, and it is not for someone who is not ready or willing to go into spending time and effort and energy into themselves. Because as your coach, I'm not here to do the work for you. It's like hiring a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for many years, and I'm not there to do the push-ups for you. I am not there to do the squats for you. You show up and you do the work. Coaching is just like training. It's training of the mind, it's training of the spirit, and training of the body. Really, it's all encompassing is what I bring to the table. And the most benefit that you will get out of the experience is not just showing up to your session, just not like showing up to 1 hour of personal training per week. It is the continuous effort. It is the time spent outside of the session that you dedicate for yourself. This is for you. You are doing it for you. You are investing in you, and you are the person that is in control. And if you're not at that stage of feeling like I lack all of the control, things in my life are chaotic, pulling the reins in a one-on-one personal coaching experience is going to be really helpful in reassuring that certain things have to happen first. You really can't walk before you crawl, and you certainly can't run before you walk. So it is an incremental step process. Not to say that it looks linear. That growth mindset is attributing to the fact that I am okay and I am understanding of the path isn't going to be clear and direct and linear, that there's going to be bumps, there's going to be things that test you and challenge you and maybe stall you a little bit. That is where a coach comes in to say, what do we need to look at differently? What can you do differently? Where can you shift your priority and focus so that for the time being, you can be okay with what's going on, especially maybe the chaotic external environment. So you really have to figure out where you are in terms of readiness and willingness. When you go into a coaching program, if you are not open, ready, and willing, open to being a student and learning, willing to do the work, and ready to deep dive into your inner world and really start challenging yourself and pushing your comfort zone, then personal coaching may not be the right fit for you. And there's other levels of self-development, like I said, that can start you on that development. Personal coaching is just a fast track, or group coaching. Any direct coaching, any direct involvement with a coach is going to help you on that fast track of development. So I think that explains a little bit more about who coaching is for. You're ready to take action. You're willing to show up, not just for the session, but willing to show up for yourself outside of the sessions and put the practice together. Routines, practices, reflections, all of these things are necessary. It is where your coach like myself or someone else who has done the work for themselves. And I think so it is one thing to know something. It is another thing to apply it in your life on a regular basis. And we are not perfect humans. I am not a perfect person. I do not do things perfectly, but I have a really sound, solid grasp on my practice, and it's evolving and it's developing, and I am always seeking the awareness, the discovery, more truth, more wisdom, and having fun with it. I think that's also an important aspect of coaching that I bring into my own practice and programs, is that I want you to enjoy it. Enjoyment is the key to sticking with something. So tailoring it to who you are and what works best for you is that one-on-one coaching personal experience. What I help you do, again, it's all connected in the body, your whole complexity, the complexity of your body, being that your spirit, your heart, your mind, and your whole body come into synchronization. So my Synchronized Mind Body method is utilizing tools and practices that I've seen for myself and clients really expand and evolve themselves. A lot of the work that I do is working on mind traps. So when you're able to release those mind traps, then you step into this whole new identity. Really, shifting identity, shifting focus, shifting your energy allows your life to become something totally different. And I don't mean from the exterior. My work is done from the interior, working from the inside out. And that relieves a lot of frustration, that relieves a lot of criticism, judgment, fear that can be holding you back from a beautiful, freeing, expansive, joyful life. So being able to invest not just your money, but your time and your energy is a really important part of entering into the coaching world. So if you believe that you're ready to take your self-development to the next level, and you feel like an outside perspective, alternative insight, and really that guided support to teach you things, not just to tell you what to do, because I am not here to advise you. I'm here to teach you, to support you, to elevate your experience, and to make sure that you're staying on track with your development. Then personal coaching may be the best next step for you. One of the easiest ways to connect with me is through my social sites. I am very active on Facebook. I have a Facebook group, all Harmony Within, Discovering Wisdom, Truth, and Passion. And you can send me a direct message on Facebook or Instagram. I'll link these in the comments below. Or send me an email at my email address, juliana@julianalindner.net. Again, I'll link all of these below. And again, if there's something that is telling you and pulling you towards something greater, something more challenging, something more fulfilling in your life, then personal coaching may be the very next best step for you. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you soon.